We don't address symptoms here. We talk about them some, but we don't relieve symptoms. We are in the process of opening the channels, opening the pathways in the brain so that the body has more logic to heal itself. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Anna Altair. This is Body Logic, Body Wisdom. I'm especially talking to healers today who want their patients and clients to heal on a much deeper level. Doctors, chiropractors, medical doctors, naturopathic doctors, nurses, and therapists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, massage therapists, people who can put their hands on other people to help them heal. And help them heal at a much deeper level than they have been used to, where we just change the symptoms or relieve symptoms. A few concepts that we need to establish is that we are designed for survival, and humankind has managed to hang in there all these years, millions of years, so it must be working. The other thing is that there are three primary systems that are common to all animals, and that is the ability to move, the survival system, the feeding system, and then the reproductive system. So these three need to be balanced all the time so that when danger comes along, you're ready to go. When it's time to eat, poof, you sit down and you have a nice meal. When it's time to reproduce, well, isn't that fun? So these three systems need to balance, but if survival is taking all of the energy, the other two don't get that much. So let's contemplate those things. I was reminded of the little girl on the bicycle who goes out with her friends at 5 years old, hits a rock, goes flying across the street, and before she ever hits, adrenaline is in every cell, ready to save her life. Her atlas goes out, her senses are heightened, her acetabulum and the muscles around that let go so she can get on that bike and ride fast as she can. All kinds of things happen at the same time to save her life. And if she gets up on that bike at that moment and she races with that bike for two blocks to catch up with the other kids, well, she's got it all balanced out again and everything's fine. But if she goes flying off her bike and adrenaline hits in all those cells and she is stuck there on the ground with a head injury or knocked out, what happens to all that adrenaline? It stays in those cells. Now, the National Football League has finally proved that for us. So we don't have to think about it anymore. They are working with it, and so are we. So when a child, usually it's between 0 and 5 or 6, has a life-threatening incident happen or a perceived life-threatening incident happen, it sticks with them pretty much till it's balanced out. And I only know this way to balance it out. Children are injured. I'm reminded of several. The little 3-month-old who rolled off the couch and got a goose egg on his forehead. This was the source of many problems for this little boy. I saw him when he was 13, just hitting puberty, and he was starting to act out. And another young man who was a swimmer, very gifted young man, his mother had a broken pelvis in a car wreck at 7 months pregnant with him. So when he got here, his reflexes were never balanced. Anyone who is a C-section baby and doesn't go through the contractions, when the contractions of birth happen for the mother, it is to turn on all of the reflexes at once so they are all in sync, giving that baby the most potential that it can to survive and thrive. That's our birthright, thriving. Or the little boy who at 2 fell down 28 steps because it was a double landing. Oh my goodness. The concussions hitting those steps. Or the other little boy that fell down concrete steps, hit the back of his head real hard. So the eye centers in the back didn't turn the whole picture around, but for years he saw a face like it was a broken mirror. Very disturbing when we finally found out that one. So the little girl falling off the bicycle and hitting her head was locked in this fight or flight. To turn that off, we have to balance all those reflexes again. And it doesn't take that long. But this business of survival, out of 21 steps that are in neuro-emotional reflex integration, 18 of them are about the survival mechanism and getting that to go into neutral. It's such a huge, authoritative system. Now, scoliosis is part of that. It's number 16. So it's way down the list. But that S curve, that is the child in the starting block, ready to run and bolt to get away from the danger. And if those reflexes are not addressed, if those muscles are not put in neutral, they will continue to pull on the spine in that S curve. And yes, it will get worse as the pain will get bigger as the child gets older. I did not find this system until I was 50. So I had grown in this fight or flight system since I was very young. I mean, less than a year old. So I had grown like that. And then when puberty happened, oh boy, did we see it then. My leg was about 3/4 of an inch shorter than the other one. My shoulders, my hip, my eyes, everything that could happen was happening. But at 50, I was in lots of pain because of the pull on the muscles and the degree of head injuries that I'd had up to that time. So when I had the balances and we got to the scoliosis part, 85% of my pain went away, and that pain has never returned. I hope you will like my channel and subscribe, and I hope that you will visit me again. Dr. Anna Altair, Body Logic, Body Wisdom. There's so much that we can do together to help, especially these children with scoliosis. It's just a compensation. It is not a disease. We'll talk about that more. See you next time.